Hey everybody, Frank Procopio here, video number 2. Before I get into that, let me address the elephant in the room really quickly. If you're wondering why I look like this, recently we did some Halloween promotions. I was Uncle Fester for Halloween, and for some reason I thought it would be a good idea to shave my eyebrows along with my beard and my hair. So just wanted to get that out of the way. Today, we are going to talk a little bit about the economy. It's another question I get from investors, especially lately. There's talks in the media that we may be heading towards another recession. The great thing about real estate is that it's a constant. People always need somewhere to live. What happens in a recession? People's incomes are squeezed, right? So they have less money to spend, but having a roof over your head is a requirement. Out of the 5 recessions since 1990, only 2 of them really affected housing. Out of the 5 recessions since 1980, only 2 of them affected housing. The first one being in 1990, and if you actually go back and look at the data, housing prices stayed pretty consistent. We just didn't see a rise. Going back to 2008, however, which is where we still have scars from and is most fresh in our minds, it was a disaster. And that was simply because of bad lending practices instituted since 2004. The government stepped in, the Frank Dodd put down regulations, and those practices are no longer in place. So I really do not see that happening again. Residential real estate is not my expertise. I've been doing investments since I was 18, so I'm not here to talk about how that would affect the residential market. What I am here to talk about it is the investment market. So, since we're talking about 2008, I'll go back there really quickly. It was a really bad time for sellers. There was a lot of stuff that was foreclosed on. People overpaid. They were giving loans to anybody. So people didn't know what they were doing. Real estate was the talk, kind of like it is right now, which is why some people are getting nervous. And we saw prices skyrocket on multifamilies, and then the bottom dropped out. Now I actually feel like there is a floor where there wasn't a floor back then. And that's, touching on video 1 where I talked about singles, that was the reason why multifamily right now is just so inflated, in my opinion, per door. There isn't a lot of money to be made. So there is a correction coming. But again, I think that there will be a floor. People were able to, even myself, I was buying houses for $5,000 a piece back then. You were able to acquire massive amounts of inventory for cheap. Banks weren't lending, so cash was king as always. What we will see this time when it takes a correction is as long as you bought right, you'll be okay. So one of the big things we preach here at Procopio, and I'm not going to talk about it in depth today, is exit strategy. When we're analyzing your deal for you, not only are we looking at the numbers, your cash on cash return, your cap rate, what your projected expenses will be, but we look at exit strategy. What happens if you have to sell this building in 5 years? So we're not going to allow you to purchase a property that you would take a significant loss on. Unless it's something where we're looking at a really long-term hold and that's the play, then, we would still be very upfront about what would happen. So, my prediction is here. We will definitely be taking a correction in the multifamily world. I don't know when it will be, but I'm already starting to see appraisals not come back on some of the multifamily properties that we've sold, which again is why we've been pushing singles so hard here. So if you have any questions, you'd like to further discuss the economy, feel free to give me a call here at the office or go on YouTube and send me an email. Again, I don't think we have anything to worry about as long as you're careful when you're buying. And as always, how you buying right is the key to success. So we want to make sure that you're not overpaying and that if the market takes a correction, you're not going to see a significant loss in equity. So thanks again for watching and have a great day.